Let me continue this video, okay? So we're talking about a rental property that a guy hung himself in. And I had the building tested for ultra low frequencies, microwave frequencies, scalar technology, tetra technology, psychotropic warfare, call it whatever you want, mind control, all right? And through frequency technology, you can make somebody so depressed that they want to kill themselves. Now, the dogs can hear these ultra low frequencies. That's why the vets are on full force to vaccinate the dogs, to dumb them down so that they don't respond to these frequencies, right? That's why the animal control is trying to kidnap my dogs, right? Because my dogs warn me about these frequencies. They want to be able to kidnap the dog, start sticking needles in the dog. Also, they've paid people to poison my dogs with food. I've caught people red-handed feeding my dogs, trying to feed my dogs poison. Caught them red-handed, videoed it, everything, feeding them poison. And I'd walk up to them and say, "Don't ever feed my dog again." And then I'd come back the next day and they had something behind their back, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you feeding my dogs again? I told you not to feed my dogs." And they did it again. So I caught them multiple times trying to poison my dogs. All right? So this is what the vets are in. Vaccines dumbs down people to where they don't respond to electromagnetic frequencies. It actually kills them is what it does. So look how neurotic this dog is. This dog scraped out the wall. Now, I've also heard of tetra and scalar technology being inside the walls, right? So this might have been some type of device from a previous renter that was put in the wall, right? And look at this. Somebody cut this physically. This wasn't the dog ripping the molding off. Somebody actually cut it. Does that make any sense? And here's the piece. Look. See, it was cut with a saw. Here's the other piece of it. There it is right there. So somebody cut this off, and a piece is missing. Okay, now, you want to see how frequencies make dogs neurotic? Not only was the dog scratching the door, it was biting the doorknob. I got to replace the doorknob. Look at this. It tore the doorknob up. It was biting the doorknob. "Please, let me out. I can't take it anymore," says the puppy dog. Okay? So this is exactly what's been happening. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the property, but I am going to show you how this technology can not only make a dog go insane, right? And I just showed you an insane dog, because this happens to my dogs. What I have to do when they start microwaving me with psychotropic warfare, I've been a targeted individual for years. I have to let my dogs outside. I have to, with these people are just leaving the dog in the house. Now, I talked about the neighbor that lived next door. As soon as my tenant hung himself, the neighbor moved out. And I know for a fact that the neighbor was a Hispanic guy. So was the girl that was married to Marvin, Hispanic. Okay? So Donald Trump's right. And most Antifa agents are Hispanic. And that's very sad. I'm not being mean to Hispanic Mexican people. But I know of several Hispanic people. Okay, so there is a house over here. So the guy was living right beyond that pond over there. And he was living in that house right there. So he was obviously pointing what they call directed energy technology into the psychotropic warfare into this house. And he was also, I caught him many a times breaking onto my property. He would walk around the woods in the back, and I actually have him on camera walking on my property. Okay, so I have evidence against this maniac over here that was getting paid. So, I am not turning in, well, I'm not even going to get into that. So, I just keep this stuff safe to figure out what's going on, guys. That's all I want to do, because I want to figure out who's behind this psychotropic warfare that's murdering my daughter, This is how they murdered my daughter. This is how Marvin was murdered. This is how my dad got Alzheimer's. This is how they're manipulating the minds of my family members. So, right there, Hispanic guy, another foreign person living over here, Hispanic guy over here, okay, Filipino people over here. I mean, and then Iranian guy who was over here, and there's 3 cops that live in the neighborhood. And these people all moved in after I was a targeted individual. Go figure, okay? After I became a targeted individual, all these people moved in. This was a very... So let's take a look here. Look. So we know that they've been placing devices in houses. There is still high level of frequency in this house, okay? Listen to this. Here's another thing. All the light bulbs in this house are burnt out. All of them. I kept telling the guy, I said, you have to put these LED lights in here or they burn out. So take a look at this again. Here's another. Now they repaired this one. We had this one repaired. Possibly something inside the wall. Possibly. Okay. So here's another to where the dog was locked in the bathroom. Here's the bathroom, right? And the dog ripped out the wall. Electronic torture on an animal. This is animal abuse right here. Electronic torture. It's the same devices, guys. You can go to Amazon.com, okay? And you can go ultrasonic dog barkers. And you can stop your dog from barking by pushing a button. Okay, the dogs are hypersensitive to these frequencies, okay? So let's take a look at the house. All the recess lights are burned out. Look at that. Now these gas lights, they work because they can handle the frequencies, right? Look at the kitchen. All the kitchen, look. I'm turning on the kitchen lights, right? So one light in the kitchen is working. Look. Light bulbs are burned out. These are these old-fashioned bulbs. These are not these LEDs. See, the LEDs are shielded. They can handle the ultra-low frequencies. They can handle the microwaves. That one's burned out. This one's burned out. They're all burned out. Look at these fluorescents. Let's turn these on. Look. Well, that one works. This one doesn't work. That one does work. Okay? So even these halogen-style fluorescents burn out. These are very strong lights, okay? So when you go in here, let's check this out. Look at even the gas. Those, I'm telling you, every time a tenant moves into this property, okay, I have to change hundreds. I spend about $200 on light bulbs. Because you have to get these LEDs. And I don't know what I think maybe they're selling them. I don't even know what they're doing. But all of the light bulbs that I put in are all gone. It's unreal. So dogs going nuts, a man hanging himself in the property, okay? And light bulbs all burn out. Let's take a look at this room. Okay, this room, the light bulbs kind of made it. But look, one light bulb out of 3. Burn out. Because even Marvin, the guy that hung himself, kept saying, Freddie, why do all these light bulbs go out? And I kept telling him, you have to get those shielded light bulbs. Because the house was being electromagnetic. This is the front. Now these lights remained. Isn't that weird? Why did these lights not burn out, but the back lights? Well, let me tell you why. Because when people come and torture you, they don't come in from the front of the house, like this. They don't come in from the front of the house where everybody can see them. They go in from the back. So these light bulbs are all burnt out. Look. So none of them are working. But then let's show you something. Here's the back of the property. Look at the chemtrails, guys. X marks the spot. That's what they call the X generation. And this is symbology for ISIS. It's also symbology for the masculine, feminine. They're letting you know things. They're telling you. You can see the chemtrails. It's a beautiful day. And of course, they're going to destroy it with their bullshit. So you can see their kind of solar radiation management of the sun. They're blocking out the sun. And then you can see that. So the light bulbs from the back of the house are burnout. And of course, the kitchen's in the back of the house. Those are all burnout. But the light bulbs in the front are okay. You see what I'm trying to tell you? The guy was walking around the back of the property and coming in the woods back here. That's why when I got arrested, there was a guy in the woods with one of these weapons. Okay? He was in the woods with a military-style weapon, and I was told that he was doing a science experiment on me that I had never consented to. All right, guys, I'm out of time. Well, it's almost out of time. But I'm trying to show you. This is why I had a lady friend of mine that lived way up north, okay? And she told me that one day her dog was just started spinning around, and next thing you know, the dog was dead. And she blamed the smart meter, okay? It's true. Smart meters can kill your dogs, absolutely. And I just showed you how they torture a dog. Listen, guys. A dog has to be grounded to the earth. Right? If the dog is outside, watch what my dogs do. I'm going to show you some more proof. Okay? See that hole right there? That's from him. Okay? Mr. Beautiful. Mr. Wonderful. They will dig a hole. And they will, because the surface of the ground doesn't have the Schumann cavity resonance. That's why you can't hardly grow anything. That's why when you till soil, you're trying to get that good soil up. Okay, here's another dig. See that dig over there? They want to dig in the ground and they want to lay in it. Because that connects them to the electricity of Mother Earth, their natural resonating frequencies. And you have to let your dog go outside. You cannot lock a dog inside, guys. And that's why they want leash laws and all this shit, because they want your dog dead. They do. Keep your dog inside. Lock it up. Keep it in a fence and all that stuff. When it used to not be like that when I was a kid. Okay? So I am definitely running out of time here. And hopefully you need to share this information with people, guys. I'm telling you the truth. Frequency technology affects dogs. It drives them insane. All right? It drives them absolutely insane. Sorry, I'm just having to clean my glasses here because I can't see. And, why do you think all the ancients... See, this technology has been alive for thousands of years. This is days of Noah technology, guys. Floods, weather events, diseases, viruses. You don't think these frequencies activate viruses within a human being? Here's another thing. Marvin was having medical issues. The person living next door had medical issues. Okay? When you barbecue people with microwave technology, they will wind up in the hospital with cancer. They'll get sick. It's just like Operation Woodpecker. I'm sorry, not Wood. Yeah, Woodpecker with Russians. That's why they're always referring to Russian collusion with Donald Trump, because they're talking about this technology. All right? Operation Woodpecker is when they targeted some type of American embassy building, and they made everybody chronically ill and cancer, and nobody could work there. All right? So, but that's, why do you think dog is God backwards? Because when they use the weapons of God, the dog is there to warn you. That's why bird is 33. You got birds dropping dead with this technology. You've got drumfish floating to the surface. Fish dying. they're all sensitive. Whales beaching themselves, that's all sensitive to electromagnetic frequency technology. Biting from the tree of knowledge of good and evil and doing evil.